Orlando Magic HQ, what's poppin'? So Magic fans, what a crazy last couple of weeks it has been, but this has probably been the most fun and interesting offseason that we've really had in recent memory. And Magic fans, this is the best time of the offseason because we've gone from the pre-draft process right into the NBA draft where we took Anthony Black and Jet Howard. We transitioned right into NBA free agency where we got Joe Ingles, and then the Magic went ahead and re-signed Mo Wagner. The Magic then waived Bol Bol, which was some pretty breaking news to maybe a good handful of people. And now the Magic have made another big time move when it comes to making some significant changes in the Magic front office. And we're gonna be talking about that here today, not only how these front office changes are gonna affect the Magic right now, but for the future of this team moving forward. So Magic fans, let's actually get into today's video. So Magic fans, yesterday, Wednesday, July 5th, Adrian Wojnarowski, NBA Insider, released that the Orlando Magic are now going to be promoting Anthony Parker as the new general manager of the Orlando Magic. And now John Hammond is going to be stepping into a senior advisory role. John Hammond has been the general manager for the Magic since 2017. He's 68 years of age, and Anthony Parker is 48 years of age. He's been with the Orlando Magic franchise now for over 10 plus years. Parker was the former assistant general manager underneath President of Basketball Operations Jeff Weltman, as now Anthony Parker is now the new general manager. The Magic, while having done all of that, have now promoted Pete D'Alessandro to Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations. D'Alessandro was a former general manager with the Kings in 2013 through 2015 and a longtime front office executive with the Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets. Now, there's really a lot to unpack here, and I'm going to try to fly through this as quick and as swiftly as possible. So let's actually go back, rewind the clock, and let's go back in history and kind of see how the Orlando Magic really got to this point. So prior to Jeff Weltman and John Hammond really running the show in the front office, let's go back to the old regime where the Orlando Magic have really been struggling since the departure of Dwight Howard. The Orlando Magic, since the 2012 season, has only made the playoffs 2 times, both in 2019 and in 2020. And of course, 2020 was inside the bubble. But under the old regime with Matt Lloyd, who had spent a decade with the Orlando Magic, he's now with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Matt Lloyd was the former assistant general manager and vice president of basketball operations who joined the Magic back in June of 2012. And then in May of 2017, both John Hammond and Jeff Weltman had came to the Orlando Magic organization. John Hammond was a guy who was highly sought out after he had drafted one of the best players in the NBA today, a 2-time MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, a Finals MVP in Giannis Antetokounmpo back in 2013 with the Milwaukee Bucks. But prior to the Orlando Magic having Jeff Weltman and John Hammond in this front office in 2017, when you go back to 2012 through 2016 with the old regime, there was a lot of struggle and there was a lot of adversity, not just with the production on the court and the Magic consistently having losing seasons and really going through a rebuild process. It was really hard for a lot of us fans, really having to go from the glory days of Dwight Howard, Hedo Turkoglu, and having a championship caliber team year in and year out to then now going through a rebuild process. So let's go back to 2012 through 2016 and look at some of the old regime and some of the draft picks and see how the Orlando Magic had really struggled during this time period. Now, really going back to some of the notable draft picks during this time, let's actually go through the list. We've got Andrew Nicholson back in 2012, and it's funny because Draymond Green was just bashing him on his podcast. Then we go with Victor Oladipo, Aaron Gordon, Mario Hezonja, Domantas Sabonis, who we ended up trading on draft night alongside Victor Oladipo to the Oklahoma City Thunder, then acquiring Serge Ibaka. I'm sure a lot of us Magic fans want to forget that ever happened, which then eventually turned into Terrence Ross, who we all have a lot of love for. And then you fast forward to 2017 through the present day. John Hammond and Jeff Weltman were really running the show then, and these guys were obsessed with length and versatility, something that we noticed a lot throughout their draft picks. Let's actually take a look at what the Magic have done with that front office through their time. So in 2017, the Orlando Magic took Jonathan Isaac. We kind of understand how that all worked out. Mo Bamba, Chuma Okeke, Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and now Anthony Black and Jet Howard. So when you look at the talent discrepancy and really what the Magic put together from the years 2012 through 2016 with their draft picks, even though in 2016 we traded away Sabonis and Victor Oladipo on draft night, with the old regime, there was a lot more misses, I would say, overall with the draft selections versus under Jeff Weltman and John Hammond, who I think did a lot better of a job developing and identifying talent through the draft. Even though some of those picks didn't work out, Jonathan Isaac obviously has had an extremely injury-riddled career. Chuma Okeke, Mo Bamba obviously has not worked out. He's now bounced around as he's now playing for the Philadelphia 76ers. But I think that there's been a lot more upside under what John Hammond and Jeff Weltman have now done with this new regime. When you talk about guys like Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, obviously Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, they've done a much better job identifying talent, and now we're gonna see how Jet Howard and Anthony Black can play out, not just in the Summer League, but really for the future of this team moving forward. And now that Anthony Parker is gonna be the full-time GM, I think that this is gonna be a breath of fresh air for the Orlando Magic and almost a new start, because this feels like a turning point season for the Orlando Magic, especially after we had the Rookie of the Year and a dominant player in Paolo Banchero in year one. We've obviously got another great franchise cornerstone piece in Franz Wagner, and now it's just building the right team and the right culture around these guys. And I think a lot of people are now starting to believe in what the Orlando Magic are building and what Jamal Mosley has done for this team. The DeVos family has done a great job of providing facilities like the Admin Training Health Center for these guys and making sure that the Orlando Magic is going to be a destination for top free agents to want to come and play, especially once we get this thing turning in the right direction. So to kind of recap everything that's been going on, Anthony Parker, 48 years of age, spent 9 seasons in the NBA, 1 season with the Orlando Magic as he only played in 16 games back in '99 and 2000. Anthony Parker's also the oldest brother of WNBA star Candace Parker. And Anthony Parker's also spent 11 years with the Orlando Magic franchise, working as an assistant GM, working as a general manager scout, and now really getting his opportunity to work alongside Jeff Weltman as the new general manager of the Orlando Magic. All in all, I think that this is a great thing. This is something that John Hammond and both Jeff Weltman have kind of been preparing for these last couple of seasons, knowing that John Hammond and his time was kind of coming out and understanding that Anthony Parker was going to be the next guy up. That's why they've been grooming and developing him to get him prepared for this role. And then you see D'Alessandro getting promoted to Vice President of Basketball Operations underneath Jeff Weltman. I think what the Magic are doing here is a great thing. I think it still provides a level of stability when you have Weltman, who's been a proven guy now these last couple of seasons. You have John Hammond, who has an extremely long track record of 30+ years in the NBA, working in front offices. I really like this move for the Orlando Magic. I think this is going to be great for the development of our team. And in Anthony Parker now, we trust. But Magic fans, we want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What do you guys make of the Orlando Magic now promoting Anthony Parker to general manager and a lot of the other front office moves that I talked about here in today's video? But Magic fans, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys actually go ahead and drop me a thumbs up. It takes 1 second and it helps me in the channel out tremendously. And make sure you guys also go ahead and hit that subscribe bell to stay tuned for more Orlando Magic content that I do here on YouTube. And make sure you guys also go ahead and follow me and Orlando Magic HQ on all of our socials. The link tree will be in the description down below, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. But Magic fans, thanks again for sticking around throughout the whole video. Brett James, aka BJ, I'm out, y'all. Go Magic, baby. Peace.